Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Porter County Perspective. I'm Malinovsky, reporting for the WDSO News Department. And this week my guest is Bill Higbie of the Porter County Community Foundation. Welcome to our studio and thank you for joining us today. First, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure, Allie. Thank you for having me. It's a great privilege to be with you and communicating this morning to the residents of Duneland and Porter County. My name is Bill Higbie. I'm the president of the Porter County Community Foundation, and I've been involved at the foundation for about 11 years and the CEO about 9 years. Before that, I actually worked as a funeral director in Valparaiso and Couts for the Moeller family, and became involved in the Community Foundation as a board member while I worked at the funeral home, and then had an opportunity to come and work at the foundation in 2014, and I've been there ever since.
Can you share how and why the Porter County Community Foundation was established?
Sure. The Community Foundation was established in 1996 in response to a challenge opportunity from Lilly Endowment. Lilly Endowment has been very involved in promoting, establishing, and developing community foundations all over Indiana. And ours got started in 96 when Lilly Endowment said to communities all over the state, if you raise some money for your own community, we'll give you some money, and if you endow that money or make it a permanent source of an investment that will generate money for your nonprofit organizations forever, we'll help you get started. And there was a group of folks from all over Porter County who said, this is a pretty good deal. If we can raise some money, we're going to get some money, and it will be here forever, and we'll be able to help the good work that goes on. So it was a group of folks back in 1996 that got the Community Foundation started.
What was the initial vision for the foundation, and how has it evolved over time?
The initial vision was very much focused on building a long-term, a permanent source of philanthropic capital that would be invested for long-term growth and generate money every year that then gets distributed to nonprofit organizations in the community for helping them do the good work that they do. And also, along with that vision, it's allowing people to establish their own philanthropic legacies by depositing money at the Community Foundation that will forever help their favorite charities. And that is still very much the focus of the Community Foundation, building long-term philanthropic resources. How it has evolved, I would describe as expanding into somewhat of a community leadership role in participating with our staff, participating in conversations and collaborations to make the community better across all kinds of avenues. So having money to give away to support the community, and then being a part of the conversations that lead to community development over time.
Are there any key milestones or achievements in the foundation's history that you'd like to highlight?
I would start by noting that this next year, 2026, will be the foundation's 30th anniversary. That's 30 years of doing good and raising money and giving money away for the organizations that benefit Porter County. The other milestone I would probably highlight is from 2022, when the foundation received its largest gift in history, and that stands today still as the largest gift, when a gentleman named Bill Jewell left pretty much his entire estate to the Community Foundation, an estate that was valued at just over $12.5 million. And we were able to secure that in 4 endowment funds that support the passions of Mr. Jewell, a couple of scholarships, and also a fund that provides $100 for every baby born to a Porter County family. And we secure that in a children's savings account for them to be able to start saving for higher education. So that generosity of Mr. Jewell back in 2022 at the time of his death. He was 100 years old and had loved the community so much, wanted to make sure that he was able to continue supporting it even after he was gone. And so that's been a wonderful achievement and a wonderful milestone that we've enjoyed.
How does the board work together to steer the foundation's mission and goals?
Our board is comprised of people from all over Porter County, from near the Kankakee River all the way up to Lake Michigan, and from the west border to the east border. We've got 24 people on our board, all representing different areas of professional experience, different age groups, and all kinds of different demographics representing the community. It is an outstanding group of folks who keep the foundation's mission at the center of their work with our organization. And our mission is to improve the community through lasting generosity and leadership. Our board meets 6 times a year, every other month, and then we have a number of committees that they each serve on. But just guiding me as the president and CEO, the board is my boss, so to speak. I report directly to them. Their job is to hire and supervise me, and I try to make it easy for them to do that, but sometimes it's not always. Sometimes it can be a challenge. But they're really passionate folks who believe in the value of permanent generosity and what it does for the community foundation over time, and they like to share that story, and that's really important to us.
Who does the foundation primarily serve within Porter County?
We have a couple different segments of folks that I would say that we primarily serve. We serve, first of all, the folks who care about our community and want to make a lasting contribution to it philanthropically. So we're serving donors and allowing them the opportunity to leave a lasting legacy. And then we're serving the nonprofit organizations who in turn then directly serve the residents of Porter County. And we serve our nonprofit organizations by securing these gifts of generosity in permanent endowment funds, and then providing distributions to the organizations off of those funds every year forever.
How does the foundation identify and prioritize the needs of the community?
We do that by engaging in a lot of conversations with people from all over the county who have different experiences, and listening to people, collaborating with different groups who are addressing various needs and opportunities within Porter County. And then we just work to figure out how can we best support this need at this particular time. And sometimes it can be a difficult process because there are always more needs and opportunities to fund than we have money to give away. But we do that in conjunction with a lot of conversations with other folks.
Can you explain the process by which community members or organizations can apply for grants?
Sure. The community members as individuals aren't eligible to apply for a grant. Only 501c3 nonprofit charities can apply for a grant. And that's done, we do that twice a year. We have a competitive grant process where we have money available and we advertise to the nonprofit organizations that there's a chance to apply for some funding. Tell us what you need. Tell us how it will help your organization and help you do more, serve more people. And they fill out an application, submit it to us, and then we have a grant committee that's made up of board members and some community members. And that group evaluates all the applications and decides how best to spend the money that's available in that particular cycle.
What types of projects or causes does the foundation typically support?
We have a wide range of projects and causes that we support. Everything from youth development, the arts, animals, health and human services organizations, food insecurity, housing, pretty much every cause that you can possibly describe has at one time gotten a grant from the Community Foundation or has an endowment fund that was started by an individual to benefit that organization. So it's really, we don't restrict the kinds of projects that we fund. We try to spread the generosity out as much as possible across the entire spectrum.
What grants or initiatives is the foundation most proud to have funded recently?
I would say that our Seeds of Promise, the endowment fund we have as a result of Mr. Jewell's gift, the fund that sets aside $100 for every baby born to a Porter County family. This is really a unique opportunity. This does not exist in very many places across the country, where any baby born, regardless of any kind of economic status or any other quality, if your baby is born and you live in Porter County, we will set aside $100 to be used for higher education after high school. And we're really pleased at that and have gotten a lot of cooperation, and really thrilled that we in Porter County have one of the few at-birth children's savings accounts, automatic, in the country, really.
Can you share a story about a specific grant that made a significant impact on the community?
Yes, I would share a grant that we gave to an organization called Project Neighbors, and they work in the arena of affordable housing. About 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, they were at a turning point, a real inflection point in the organization, and they needed to hire an additional, a full-time paid executive director. And by doing that, they would actually be able to build more affordable housing units, and they receive income off of those units. So if they could just get another person on staff to facilitate the expansion, then they would realize additional income that would support that person's salary. So the Community Foundation was able to give them a grant that boosted their income for 1 year to hire a person and then they were able to build more units and realize more income to sustain that person's job. And that's an example of how we can help somebody do more, and then eventually they're able to fund their organization themselves. But without that initial influx of resources, they were stuck. And this was a way that we helped them get unstuck, so they really were able to take off. And that has proven to be true, and they're just doing great work and doing a lot more of it than they would have been able to.
How do you measure the success and impact of the grants you award?
Pretty simply, really. The grants we award are for obvious projects or programs. So when we award a grant, we are actually able to see what it's done, and we ask the organization to just send us a simple write-up of what the grant was able to do. And if the program was expanded because of the grant, then we know it's been successful. If more people were served, we know it's been successful. If they bought a piece of equipment that they needed and applied for the grant, then we know it's been successful.
How can individuals or organizations get involved with the Porter County Community Foundation?
The easiest way is to actually make a contribution to the organization, and that money goes into our general grant-making fund that then gives us the opportunity to give more money away to the organizations that are doing really important work. Just learning about the Community Foundation and then engaging with their professional advisors, their financial planners, accountants, estate planning attorneys, to make sure that the things that they care about can be supported through an estate gift even after they're gone. It's a way to let their love for the community continue, and that's really what we do, is we make people's love for the community last forever. We do have a couple of committees that some community members are involved with, our grant committee and our scholarship committee. So if somebody has an interest in being involved in deciding grant and scholarship recipients, we are willing to talk to them.
What resources does the foundation offer to help local nonprofits or community groups grow?
I think we do a pretty good job of providing education and professional development opportunities to nonprofit groups in our community. So we'll have fundraising courses, we'll have leadership courses. We'll try to engage with providers of professional development and curriculum that is appropriate for people in the nonprofit community, fundraisers or executive directors, development directors, marketing and communications folks. We try to bring programming local so that the folks who serve Porter County don't have to travel. They can get good quality professional development and educational experiences here locally, and that saves their organization time and money from having to seek it elsewhere. So I think that's one of the important ways that we do that. And then obviously it's providing money, providing funding for organizations.
How does the foundation promote transparency and keep the community informed about its work?
As a 501c3 public charity, we are required to make our financials available to the community. Because people get a tax deduction for contributions they make to the community foundation, it is incumbent on us to provide our financials, our nonprofit tax return to the community. And that's IRS designation, IRS law. So those forms are available upon request. And we keep a website, an active website and social media that has all of our activities on it. You can see who's involved in running the organization and the things that we do, the grants that we give, the programs we're involved with. It's all available electronically.
What are the foundation's goals for the next 5 to 10 years?
Continuing to build the long-term charitable resources, constantly having conversations with individuals and professional advisors about the importance of considering your community as one of your heirs. People always think about what they're going to leave to their family, and we encourage people to consider that the community is one of the members of your family. So we always have the goal of more conversations, more education about what a community foundation can do to help people who live in Porter County do more for Porter County forever. The other goal I would mention is a regional project we're involved with the community foundations in Lake and LaPorte counties. And this is a 5-year project. It's called Northwest Indiana Thrive. We were fortunate to get a $20 million grant from Lilly Endowment that allows us to focus on further development of the Marquette Greenway from Chicago to New Buffalo, kind of using the South Shore corridor to focus on completing more of the trail that's been started there, complete with some wayfinding and some educational kiosk opportunities about the various communities across the whole Lake Michigan region. So we're looking forward to that. We're heavily involved in that right now, and within 5 years we should see a lot more of that be completed.
How can listeners best support the foundation's mission and help strengthen the community?
That's an easy one. Make a gift to your community foundation. Maybe it's $5, maybe it's $500, maybe it's $12 million, but make a gift. Take the time to plan for your estate to leave the community a gift from it.
Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to add that we haven't spoken about, or anything you'd like to reiterate?
I'd like to say that Porter County is a really unique place. It's very special. The culture of philanthropy here is unlike most of the other counties in the state. As I travel around and talk to my counterparts throughout Indiana, I'm continually reminded how lucky and fortunate we are in Porter County to live in a community that believes in the value of generosity, and we have so many people who want to share a little bit of what they have for the good of the greater community, and that really means a lot.
That's going to be it for this week's edition of the Porter County Perspective. I'd like to thank my guest, Bill Higbie of the Porter County Community Foundation, for coming in today. This has been your host, Ali Malinovsky of the WDSO News Department, signing off. This program was previously recorded.